thinking about selling your house and are wondering how much money you will get to keep once it is sold? That's what I'm talking about today. Hey friends, Mary Howard here with There's No Place Like Home NC, Red Boots Realty powered by eXp Realty, and on this channel I create educational content to help buyers and sellers while they are deciding whether to buy or sell a home. There are a ton of educational videos out there for first-time home buyers, but not so many out there for first-time home sellers. So that's why I decided to make this video. And in the words of a demigod, you're welcome, you're welcome. I can't sing, I'm sorry. Anybody know what movie that's from? If you do, let me know down in the comment section. There are often a variety of costs and fees associated with getting a home sold. So it's really important that you understand exactly what you're going to walk away with before you put a sign in your front yard and let the world know that it is for sale. The smart thing to do is consult with a great local agent and have them go over what industry experts call a net sheet. A net sheet is a financial worksheet that takes the sales price of the listing and then subtracts what the cost and the fees are to get that home sold. The math is super simple if it's done correctly, and it will give you an extremely clear picture of your potential profits. So here's a sample of the net sheet. And I will link this in the comments below for you to look at, or you can download it if you'd rather. So here, sales price, we have option 1, 2, and 3. And we have these options because this net sheet will be completed prior to you listing your home. So you don't have a contract yet. Your agent will give you a market value range. And for this example, we're going to say the range is between $330,000 to $350,000. So in the sales price option 1, we're going to put $350,000. In sales price option 2, we will put the middle range, and in this case it's $340,000. And in option 3, we're going to plug in $330,000. The next line is present mortgage payoff, and this will be a total of the two lines just below those, and that's called first mortgage and second mortgage. And just a helpful pro tip, if you're looking online or at your bank statement and it says that your balance is $100,000, it's probably not your payoff amount. Typically, you can add about roughly one full payment to what your balance says, and that would be closer to your current payoff balance. If you remember, when you bought the house, you didn't make a payment for somewhere like 45 days. So you pay your mortgage in arrears. You live in the house, and then you pay for it. This field usually represents your original lien holder. So we're going to say that your current payoff is $100,000, and we're going to plug that in this field. For this example, we're going to say you don't have a second mortgage, so we're going to leave this one blank. The next line, credit line, home improvement loan, etc. If you took out a third line on your home or pledged it as collateral, we would plug that in here. Or more likely, you would like to pay off another loan. We would put that in here. And for this example, we're going to say you own a boat and you want to pay that off using the proceeds. And we're going to plug in $8,000 here because hypothetically that's all you owe. Special assessments. This one will be filled in if, for example, you live in an HOA and your HOA is going to do something for the whole community, like re-roofing the whole community or paving the alleyways. They would have notified you and said there's a special assessment in the amount of $500 for the next 3 years. If that's the case, then that number will go into this box. Revenue stamps. The state of North Carolina charges an excise tax or revenue stamps on the home sales, and the way that's calculated is $2 per 1,000 for the sales price. So for this example, we're going to say that you have a contract at $350,000. We divide that by 1,000 and get 350. Then we multiply that by the number 2 and get $700, and that's what gets plugged into this field. Recording fees is next. They are a total of $90 in North Carolina, and that's broken up into 3 different documents: the deed, the title, and the cancellation of the lien. So here we're going to plug in $90. Annual property taxes. Now this one's a bit confusing for every seller. In North Carolina, property taxes are escrowed in with your monthly mortgage payment. However, when you transfer property, there cannot be any more ties between you and that property. So in North Carolina, the attorneys will verify your annual property taxes, and then they will prorate the taxes from January until the month that you close, and you will be responsible for paying those at closing. In this annual tax field, we will put the total amount of your annual taxes. And in our area at this price point, a good average for property taxes is about $2,000. So that's what we're going to plug in here. In the box directly beneath it, we're going to put the number of months that you will not be living in the house for the remainder of the year. So for this example, we're going to say you're closing on your property in October, so you will not be living in the home for 2 months. Once these 2 fields are completed, then the 3rd row will auto-populate with the amount of taxes that you will not be paying. And for this example, it auto-populates at $333.33. Once the sale of your home is completed and the mortgage has been canceled, the company holding your escrow will send you the remaining of the funds that are in that account. So although you've paid your taxes and it feels like you've paid them twice, you will get a refund anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. All right, now to the lending cost. The next row is labeled Closing Expenses Paid for Buyer. In our current market, this has been left blank more often than it's been filled in. But in the past, I would suggest 3% of the purchase price, just in case my seller did in fact get an offer where the buyer was asking for closing cost. By filling this out, it does not mean that you are agreeing to pay for this. It's just showing you possible options. When you get an offer and they are not asking for closing cost, but you have allotted some fees in here, you have some money that's earmarked. It could go to cover something else that the buyer may ask for. Best case scenario, this stays in your pocket. But for this example, we're going to plug in $8,000. The next row is VA fees. I've never, in the time that I've been in the business, had a seller pay VA funding fees. Usually those are taken care of by the lender. And for this example, we're going to leave this field blank. All right, now we're moving on to the other expenses. Home warranty. When it was more of a buyer's market, I would advise my sellers to put a home warranty on their property because it covered the property from the attachment date of the home warranty until the property closed. And then at that point, it transferred over to the buyer for a complete year. There is no upfront cost for you. The home is covered for a year plus the time that the home is on the market. So it kind of acts like a little safety net. The estimated cost with taxes will be $650, and that's what we're going to plug into this field. Next is the survey. The only time that I've ever had a seller complete a survey is when we were separating additional land from a home. Survey costs are going to vary based on the amount of land that you are having surveyed. And right now, I just had 2.5 acres surveyed in Iredell County for $750. But for now, and in this example, we're going to leave this field blank. Attorney fee and document preparation is the next line. And as the seller, the attorney fee is much less than for the buyer. The range is anywhere from $800 up to $1,100. For this example, we are going to stick with $1,000. The next 5 lines are talking about realtor commissions, and as you are having this conversation with your listing agent, they will tell you what they will charge. As a listing agent, I myself do charge 6%. 3% is earmarked for the realtor that brings you the contract that you are going to be accepting and pays the buyer's agent. The other 3% goes to my firm, and that's where I get my portion from. And as you can see, that populates under the field that says total broker's fee. Express fees. If you are not going to be able to attend the closing and will need to do a mail away package, depending on the attorney, that cost is going to vary. But if you already know that you're not going to be in town when this document gets filled in, I would suggest $400. For this example, we're going to leave it blank because you're going to be happy home sellers eagerly sitting at the closing table ready to sign. The miscellaneous row here is for fax and copies. I usually only ever use it if my client wants to pad the expenses, just in case something unforeseen happens. For this one, we're going to leave it blank because we did pad it up at the top, plugged in that $8,000 for buyer's expenses paid. All right, moving on, and these next two fields are very controversial. The first is repairs from home inspections. When I'm filling this out, about 75% of the time, the sellers ask, well, how do I know what repairs need to be done? My answer is a pre-listing home inspection. And this gets controversial because the sellers want to know why they should pay to have a home inspected when the buyers are also going to pay and have the same home inspected. The reason that I suggest this is because you may be the most attentive homeowner on the planet. You may change your air filters regularly, pressure wash your home, make sure your gutters are clean. You might actually even inspect your crawl space quarterly, but you don't know what you don't know. Having a pre-listing home inspection will cost you $400 to $600, but after you have it, you will know what is going on and what the buyer's inspection will find. So my question to my sellers is, do you want to just hope that the buyer's inspection comes back clean? Are you willing to risk finding multiple high-ticket items that you're unaware of? Reducing your profit? Risk your peace of mind? Possibly delay the transaction, all because you want to save $600? I say it so often, knowledge is power. When you know that your home has no major defects, it changes your whole mindset during the transaction. Selling at home is an overwhelming process. If there is anything that you can do to make it less stressful and potentially more profitable, why wouldn't you do it? Right now, I am going to leave this field blank because I'm going to take this number and the other number and add them together. The second controversial item here is going to be plugged into this other column. And in here, I use this place for the pre-listing home appraisal. Again, the buyers are going to have an appraisal if they are having to finance this purchase. But there are actually two reasons that I recommend that a seller have the appraisal. The first reason is to make sure that you're not leaving any money on the table. My last transaction last week, my buyer's appraisal came back $10,000 over contract. If that seller would have paid the $400 to $500 to have that appraisal, they would have made $9,500 more on the sale of that home. The second reason I suggest having an appraisal is because if for some reason your buyer's appraisal comes back ridiculously low, you and your agent will have a stronger case and chance for having the appraisal price reconsidered. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, you'll be over the moon happy about having that in your back pocket. So, like I said, the appraisal price is between $400 to $500, and the home inspection price is between $500 and $600. So let's go on the high end for both of those and plug in $1,100 in this other field here. Now, as you can see, for this example, the seller would walk away with roughly $209,000. Again, prorations for taxes, insurance, utilities, whatever, is going to alter this a little bit. But this seller would find out roughly what these numbers look like. And more importantly, they will learn the details and the fees that are associated with selling their home before listing that home and before getting under contract. If you're looking to sell, be sure to consult with a good real estate agent who can first price your home properly and second, identify all these fees and costs associated with getting your home sold so you'll know what you'll walk away with at closing. Leave a message in the comment section or give me a call if you'd like to know your home's value and possible net proceeds in today's market. You can watch these 2 videos about how to sell your home fast and for more money. And if you're thinking about listing your home by yourself as a for sale by owner, this one will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Mary Howard, and this is There Is No Place Like Home NC. Take care.
Thank you for watching this video. Click the link below to watch the next video. Don't forget to hit that icon bell to subscribe. This is Mary Howard with There Is No Place Like Home NC.